A common method of improving the thermal envelope of a home is to increase the R value of the attic's insulation by blowing in a layer of insulation. Fiberglass, mineral wool, and cellulose are all examples of insulating materials that can be blown into an attic. The safest and most commonly used is cellulose, so that is the material we will focus on in the remainder of the video. Before cellulose insulation can be blown into an attic, it's important that the attic be prepared properly. The things that will need to be done to prep the attic will be listed in the scope of work document prepared by the auditor, but some basic tasks must be done nearly every time. Plywood or boards will be needed that are long enough to span from at least one joist to another, and preferably across several. Portable lighting must be set up if adequate lighting is not already available. The attic must be sealed to stop air leaks. Likely places that will need sealing are the top plates of interior walls and any penetrations caused by ventilation, plumbing, or electrical components. When the attic is ventilated with a soffit ridge vent combination, baffles must be installed between the roof rafters to keep the insulation from landing on the soffit and plugging the air opening. Containments made of fireproof materials such as flashing, drywall, or ductboard must be installed around fixtures that enter into the attic space, such as recessed light fixtures and kitchen and bathroom fans. These containments must be at least 4 inches from the edge of the fixture at any given point, and must be tall enough to rise above the level at which the insulation will be installed. Dams must be built around access ladders or scuttles. They must be built to a height of at least 2 inches above the level of the insulation that is to be installed. This dam should be built of a durable material, such as plywood or planking. It can be insulated with rigid insulation, and a tight-fitting cover of rigid insulation can also be made. This will help keep the access point from being a huge point of heat loss. It's also a good idea to install markers on the joists that will extend upward to the desired height of the insulation, or to mark the desired height on the roof rafters. This will aid in keeping the insulation at an even height, and therefore keeping the same R value all the way across the attic. When the attic space has been prepared, it's time to set up the insulation blowing machine. Position the insulation blowing machine in a location where the hose can most easily access the attic, and attach the hose to the discharge portal on the machine. If more than one length of hose is needed to reach the area, use a coupler and pipe clamps to join them together. The diameter of the hose should remain the same its entire length. 3.5-inch diameter hose is typical for this operation. If the machine you're using allows you to adjust blower settings and material feed settings, set the blower controls to a relatively low setting, and the material feed settings relatively high. This combination will help in providing enough material to get the job done in a timely manner without causing a great deal of airborne dust. Stockpile the cellulose you will use where it is readily available to the person who will be dumping it in the hopper. If the machine is equipped with a hardwire or Bluetooth remote control device, set it up and test it before the installation begins. When everything is ready to go, the workers who will be doing the installation in the attic need to don their personal protective equipment. Even though cellulose is classified as a nuisance dust, it is treated with fire retardant, and workers should protect themselves at the same level they would if they were installing fiberglass insulation. When blown-in operations begin, workers should start at one end of the attic. The boards they will walk on should be in place, and the lighting should be pointed at the area they're working in. The worker holding the hose should use a back and forth motion to blow in the insulation, making sure to get complete coverage to the required level. The other worker can check the depth of the insulation. Level out the surface of the insulation so that it is the same level over the entire attic, and move the boards and lights towards the access point as the insulation is installed. Work towards the access point and gradually remove boards, lighting, and tools until everything is out of the attic and the cover has been installed on the access point.